Here we find ourselves in the cockpit of the W220 1999 S500, and it's quite a nice place to be, and these are all the things wrong with my car. Now, one of the most annoying things I find when driving this vehicle are the buttons. They've completely worn out and they become quite sticky and you can't really press them very easily. Let me just try and get a close-up of that. I'm using my phone here, which is quite annoying. So there is a sticky substance around here. Now normally you can just scratch this off and it leaves quite a nice smooth finish, as we can see here. However, the person that owned the car previously has used a solvent to try and clear the buttons off, and that has unfortunately worn the buttons out and taken the colouring out of the plastic. Unfortunately, there's not really much I can do about that unless I replace the buttons at about £70 a piece. So that's unfortunate, and that probably will never get changed unless I replace the steering wheel, but I quite like the wooden finish on the steering wheel. The next issue that I find with my W220 S500 is the central locking does not work. Now that is due to a PSE pump in the rear, I believe. However, that has not been diagnosed yet. I will tell you in another video what I've done so far to try and eradicate that problem. Everything else works as it should. Let me just start the engine. Starts without an issue, revs up, and then will slowly rev its way down. Airmatic system, so far, appears to be working quite well. As to the other buttons, unfortunately, due to the PSE pump, we know this doesn't work. Everything else seems to work. These don't work, again, due to the pump in the rear. That's your alarm if you're going to get towed, and that is for the rear sunshade, which after 20 years still works. Nice. The command system all works as it should, however extremely slow, but this is a 1999 model, pre-facelift. What can you expect? The wire coming out of here leads straight on to a auxiliary. Those people will know if they own a W220 pre-facelift or even post-facelift, we don't have an auxiliary cable in the glove box like we do in other Mercedes. So I've made this contraption, which works quite well. If you guys want to see how I've done that, then leave a comment down below. The next thing that doesn't work on the S500 is, please ignore the plug air freshener. That is another issue in itself. So we have a clear side mirror there, however float across, and that is dimmed out. Now I thought that might have been due to the dimming sensor, however it is not. I believe that side mirror has just gone bad in old age, and that is very unfortunate, as they're quite expensive and they're quite difficult to replace. They're quite fragile, and I think somebody, if we can see just on the left hand side up that line there, it's not equal. So I think somebody's had a go at that before and failed. So those are the main issues on the interior that annoy me about the W220 S500 that I currently own. So moving on to the exterior of the car, we can see we have a quad exhaust system, which unfortunately is just the tips. It doesn't go back any further than that, unfortunately. So we can see there. So that connects onto the normal exhaust system. I've taken out the rear carpet to see if we can see any rust forming. In general, it looks pretty good. Now, back here is the PSE pump that I've kind of hacked out already. I don't have any of my tools with me to truly show you. There are some slight rust issues around the car. So the wheel arch is standard on W220s really. So you can see it gets quite bad. This here is probably some of the worst. But it all sounds pretty good still. I'll sand all this back and respray. Somebody's already had a go at respraying here, it looks like. Some small issues on doors as well, with rusts, scratches, so forth. It could do with a respray, if I'm being completely honest. We've got some quite, let me just focus the camera, some rust issues up here as well, which are probably the worst actually. That is not going to help with the damp issues, which I think has caused the PSC pump to go. Looking at this rear headlight, there's also a crack here. Now I think that is where the damp issue has come from to start off with, and it's progressively got worse and worse and worse. So that's something to fix and look at, I think, in more detail. Come around here, this alloy has, where is it now? Is it this one? Pretty sure it's this one. It's got some rust issues going on, or the top coat of the silver has just come off. Again, some issues with paintwork. It could do with a good polish. It looks quite matte, which is a shame. But really, those are the issues with the exterior. Not that many. Obviously, the boot issue is annoying, and there is some sort of damp in here. It smells quite bad. However, we still have the original ski kit, which was an option on the W220s, and have I just broke that? No. So there's the issue with the exterior. Let's go and jump back into the interior. Back in the S500, I've shown you all the things that I've found that are a problem so far. There's also annoying noise I'm not sure if you can hear that, but when I turn the wheel there is some like a squeaking noise, which, let me just close the sunroof. I think that has got to do with the power steering, so that will need to be fixed at some point. When the car is off, doesn't make that noise, so that's something that I need to investigate, but I'll have to wait till I get all my tools. Potentially need to do a flush of the system as well, the brake fluid. It's probably never been changed in this car, and it's a 20-year-old car, so that needs to be done as a matter of urgency. Anyway, those are all the issues I have with the S500. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Appreciate it's been quite long. However, I thought I might detail all the things I need to do with this car. Mechanically speaking, this car is a good car. I think there were just small issues that just need to be touched up to make this a beautiful, fast daily driver. Anyway, the next video will be me starting some work on the car, so I will see you then. Until the next video, guys, it's been a pleasure. Take care of yourself and have a lovely, happy new year.